This is the one many have called Mother Mary, the Mother of Jesus the Christ. The first teaching: open and receive. Of all the creatures on this beautiful earth, only human beings are blessed with the potential of awareness of their divine nature. Other creatures know the divine in their own way, but you can know yourselves as the divine. And that is the design, to create beings who will one day awaken to their divinity within the human condition. This is the plan, and it is an exquisite one, carried out throughout the galaxy, indeed throughout the universe, to create sentient beings who will one day discover the secret of their own creation, where they came from, and who they truly are. These are special times indeed, as so many are waking up to the knowledge that has been hidden away, stored in your DNA for just such a time. You are blessed to be one who is being guided to look beyond your human self to the divinity within. These are exciting and dangerous times, as you are confronted daily by misconceptions, wrong ideas, negative thoughts, even negative entities, which seek to pull you off your track of discovery, of recovery, of your precious divine self. You are tossed to and fro by the many influences, some very, very convincing, that bring you deeper into the illusion of being separate from the divine and at odds with other human beings. The world has come to a crossroads, and it must choose. It can move forward on the basis of the old paradigm of separation, hatred, and conflict, or on the basis of a new one that acknowledges your divinity and oneness with all of creation, including the many beings who have been watching over you and guiding your evolution. Yes, you are deeply loved, and this love is proven by the careful and painstaking guidance each and every one of you is being given every second of your life. Do you know this? Do you know how very loved and looked after you are? You are the treasured fruit of this dear planet, and we love and cherish you and every living form that makes your life possible. It is so important that you know this now. So many of you feel abandoned and at the mercy of a hostile and dangerous world. But not a single one of you has ever been abandoned. Rather, some have abandoned their belief in goodness, in the guidance and love that are showered upon them. And in rejecting a belief in such gifts, they do not experience them. They cut themselves off from them and from their divine inheritance. Only they can change this. Only they can decide to recognize and receive this inheritance, for it is not for those guiding humanity to foist it upon you. You only need to see that love and guidance are already present in every moment for this to be your experience and your reality. If you find this love and guidance difficult to perceive, then merely express your openness to perceiving and receiving it. Do not say, "I can't feel it," because that is like saying, "I won't feel it," and so you won't. Instead, say, "I am willing to feel it," and then feeling it will become a reality. This is so important, and it is easy. As easy as it is to make such a statement of openness and willingness, it still must be made for many of you to be able to feel what is being given to you. A lack of openness is often the only block to connecting with your source, your divine nature, and the bounty that accrues from that. The only block. Life is this beneficent. Like Dorothy's ruby slippers, which could always have taken her home to Kansas, your knowledge of the truth and willingness to receive all that's being given you is all you have ever needed to return home. Open and you will receive. I do not mean you will receive whatever your humanness wants, but that you will receive what your inner divinity, your soul wants. And that is what you really want. What your humanness or ego wants are not true desires, but manufactured ones, which often take you away from your deepest desire. The game that humanity is playing is created this way. You have desires that take you away from what you really want. How long will it take to unmask this game? Some people take eons, while others don't take as long. It is up to you. You get to play the game however you wish. By going after your ego's desires, you will have many experiences and much drama. That can be exciting and fun, just as other games in which you struggle, strive, and win and lose can be quite fun. But at a certain point you tire of these games and long for the peace at your very core. You long to go home. Many of you are ready to do that now. Many are at this point where the game has worn itself out and you're ready for peace. You see that peace was what was lacking in the game of desire, and now you want peace. Whole worlds get to this point in their evolution, just as individuals do. A world eventually tires of struggle, strife, and drama. When that happens, those who foment hatred and war no longer have the power to get others to follow them. Your world will get to this point someday, and it will arrive because individuals have found peace within themselves and no longer accept anything but peace. What keeps you from believing in the goodness of life, in the unending stream of love and support that flow to you from other dimensions? This stream is experienced by those who are willing to open to and receive its bounty. If you are not open to this stream and drinking from it as fully as you can, then what beliefs keep you from doing so? It is only on your end that the flow can be obstructed. Your beliefs are all that stand in the way of experiencing the beneficence of life and the guidance that is available to you. What do you believe about life, about God? What do you believe about yourself? The most common obstacle to receiving this grace is feeling unworthy. Can you accept the love that is offered to you? If as a child you were not loved adequately, then receiving love in any form, including grace, is likely to be difficult. To break through this block, all that is needed is a willingness to receive. In this willingness lies the potential to see the truth about who you really are. Once you open to grace, you receive grace and discover the truth, that you belong to the Oneness and therefore cannot be anything but loved and cherished. The reason it is so important that you feel loved is so that you can love more freely. Be willing to accept the love that's being showered on you from other dimensions so that you can become the loving being that you are meant to be. Love is your destiny. Any idea you might have about not being loved, cared for, and cherished is just an idea, a wisp of your imagination that holds no truth. You make up that idea, and you can also discard it and replace it with the truth. You are powerful creators of your reality in this way. You declare what you believe, and then that becomes your experience until you declare something else. It may be true that you weren't loved and cared for sufficiently as a child, but that experience is gone. Now all you have left is your story about that, your sense of being someone who is not lovable, and your feeling that life is not caring. This story and these feelings are not real. You made them up, and you can give them up once you see the illusion you've cast. However, only you can untell the story and dissolve the illusion, because it is your creation. Human beings are playing at being creators. That is the purpose of human creation, to explore creation by creating, and in the process to evolve. Creation is a grand experiment of discovery and evolution, not only for humans, but also for the divine. It created you as part of its exploration and evolution. True enjoyment of life is possible when you open to the possibility that this is what's going on. You are not a victim of a cruel world, but a willing participant and an adventurer faced with all manner of challenges, all of which can be overcome. If not actually, then at least internally. Every challenge can be won with the proper attitudinal shift, with a shift in consciousness. Every difficulty can be used to make you stronger when approached from the consciousness of oneness. And that is what you're here to achieve, an awareness of your oneness with all in the midst of this experience of duality, this earthly life. You are a spiritual being with an enormous capacity for love, who is capable of radiating peace and serving others out of pure adoration of the life they represent. When you are in touch with your true nature, you happily and naturally serve others, for your needs are few and your energy is abundant. This level of service is only possible when you know that others are indeed your very own self, when you know, I am you and also you, then all selfishness disappears. You serve others because it feels good to do so, and to not do so would not feel good. In truth, it always felt good to serve others, but when you had many desires and needs that seemed to compete with other people's, serving others didn't make sense. To the ego, serving oneself is the only thing that makes sense. At a certain point in your spiritual evolution, the ego weakens, which allows something else to shine forth. Many of you are at that point now. The ego has shown itself to be false, misleading, and unreliable, and you're ready for a new master. Then something truer steps forward and becomes obvious. It has always been there, behind the scenes, even running the show much of the time, without your awareness. Once you wake up from having been hypnotized by the ego, the false self, you can choose whether the false self or the true one controls your speech and actions. When the truth is seen clearly, that the false self has been leading and that is not necessary nor desirable, that is a momentous time in one's evolution. Something else is here and has always been here, awake and alive in you, ready to move you instead of the false self. For this transformation to happen, you have to be willing to see yourself differently. You have to be willing to see yourself as the magnificent and loving being that you are and can be. Are you willing? What beliefs keep you from being willing to see yourself this way? How do you see yourself? Do you realize that that is an imagination? You made that up, possibly with the help of others who told you who and what you are. Why not imagine something grander, something much more true, and that will become your experience? This is how you awaken from the illusion of being limited, small, inadequate, less than. Be willing to see yourself as the divine being that you truly are, and you will be. That is the promise. You can be what you truly are when you open to that possibility and are willing to know yourself as that. Feel free to call upon me. I am at your service. Peace.